What is up, everyone? Jake Glenn here with Apocalypse Movies, and I am joined today by Brian Avolicino, and we're here to do a spoiler-filled review for A Quiet Place, John Krasinski's directorial debut, starring him and his wife, Emily Blunt, the horror thriller where you can't talk, and if you do, you pretty much die. We checked out this movie opening night, and we were very much looking forward to it. I would think that Brian was probably looking forward to it a little bit more than I was.
Definitely.
It was one of your most anticipated movies of this year, period. Overall, I had it up there, but I wasn't looking forward to it as much. I was very excited for it because it's John Krasinski's first film. I was looking forward to seeing what he had as a director, and I really, really, really enjoy Emily Blunt as an actress. She's one of my favorites working today, and so anything that she does, I'm pretty much in for. Yeah, I think that, this movie caught fire late. Like, we were looking forward to it early, and it was looked forward to it by a lot of people, but as it kind of started inching closer, it started to catch fire, like, really, really quick. And we checked in the showtime yesterday, and then evidently they posted 2 more showtimes because so many people were looking forward to this movie. And so it's going to be everywhere this weekend. It's probably going to make a buttload of money, but as far as I definitely agree with that. And so as far as what was it that you were looking forward to most about this movie? Like, what caught your eye from the very beginning?
I think the fact that John Krasinski and Emily Blunt were the 2 leads. I mean, husband, wife, both awesome actor, actress. I'm not a big scary movie person. Let me rephrase that. I'm not a big horror person. I do like being scared, and this kind of fell on that line of thriller, scary, you didn't really know what's going on, and it's something like we haven't had ever, where it's quiet. It's a quiet, scary movie.
There's no talking involved.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just kind of like really the whole concept drew me in.
Yeah, I think it was the concept that pretty much got everyone going. Like, I remember when the first trailer came out, people were like, "Oh my god, that kind of seems stupid. Like, no talking in a movie." But it's interesting, it's unique, it's different, and that's what kind of got people so excited about it. For me, this movie, I was looking at it from a different viewpoint. As I don't know why, but the entire time I was like, John Krasinski's movie. Like, I want to see what he has as a filmmaker. I want to see what he does from behind the camera, not just in front of the camera. He did a really good job, and coming off of, or focusing on as far as like a horror movie, he kept the tension in this movie the entire time. It never missed a beat from beginning to end. Like, the opening scene is probably one of the most scary and I guess you could say horrifying, but it's like it rips your heart. It's a heartbreaking scene. Yeah. I'll say that. It's a heartbreaking scene, and it's so good, and the movie never lets go from then. It just keeps up that pace the entire time, and that's what a horror movie should do, like a scary thriller. It's exactly what it should do, and I appreciate that so much from a first-time director, just kind of taking the bull by the horns and just letting it all go.
Director, actor, screenwriter.
Yeah, totally.
Nailed all 3.
Yeah, outside of that, I think that the idea, like I said, is really cool. The monster that was involved, and they never gave him a name.
Fine with it.
And I mean, there were no names in the period.
Yeah,
none of them had a name. The monster didn't have a name. There was no reasoning behind it, and that's one of the big things I liked about it. There was no origin as far as why these creatures are here, why they show up, what are they after. Like, we don't need to know. Like, all we need to know is that they're there, and they're there to kill people.
Yeah. That's funny because, do you remember the movie Battle L.A.? Yeah, I hated the fact that they didn't, like, give us reasoning or anything. This time, didn't need it. At all. I don't know if it was just because I was so excited for it, but I felt like if they would have done that, it would have
taken away from
the movie. A lot. And you kind of, like, got a little taste of, like, what was going on because he had that wall of newspaper clippings that kind of says, like, they can't hear you, or they can hear you, they can't see you, and you kind of learn.
Stay silent, stay or survive, or whatever it is.
But like, you didn't need to know, oh, they're aliens from another planet, or they're genetic, whatever. But I think that part actually worked out for the better.
Yeah, definitely. I think another thing that worked out is that John Krasinski was not afraid to kind of go far with the material.
No.
And like we had mentioned before that opening scene, I forgot that this is kind of a spoilers review, so we can kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
their young son, the baby, he's probably like, what, 4 years old?
He was 4, because the grave said 16 to 20.
And so he gets taken by these monsters in the opening scene. Like, he dies. And it sets the pace for this entire movie. Like, the scene in the trailer where he's shooting the rocket ship, you think he's going to be saved by John Krasinski? He doesn't. He dies. And
he gets snatched.
You're shocked by it because you don't expect that to happen to a young kid.
And Emily Blunt, when he gets snatched, the fact that she had this terrified wanting to scream and cry, and she just kind of fell to the ground. You felt that.
Oh yeah, there was so much emotion in this movie because they couldn't talk, yet there was so much going on.
Mm-hmm. They had to speak through the movements and
So outside of that, I think that just quickly, because there's not really a whole lot to talk about as far as acting goes, but all 4 of them were really good.
Oh yeah,
Krasinski, Emily Blunt, and then their 2 kids, and off the top of my head I cannot think of their names, but both the daughter and son are really, really good in this movie. The daughter doesn't speak a single word because she is deaf. Mm-hmm. The son does, and there's certain reasons why. He has a moment with his father because they're kind of distant from each other. He's a very scared little boy about what's going on. Throughout the movie, they mature in a way to where they're the reason this story kind of moves forward.
Yeah.
Certain things go on with them. The son with the fireworks, the daughter with the hearing aid, and the big twist at the end is the daughter's hearing aid, the frequency it's on, created by Krasinski, is the reason why these monsters can't handle the sound. Like, it's a sound so horrifying and deep that these monsters can't hear it.
It's a feedback.
Yeah, exactly. And so whenever they get close, this ringing starts happening, and she realizes, puts it over the intercom, and crap just starts going down at the end. Emily Blunt shoots one in the head and whatnot. And did you like the way that twist kind of went down, or would you have rather seen something else happen?
I was fine with it because it kind of it almost gave you the vibe of the monster's strongest attribute is their biggest weakness too. I liked it. I thought it was a cool twist. I didn't really see it coming.
Well, I hear a lot of... Go ahead.
I saw it coming after the first time when it then it was oh, okay, they can't, the frequency's messing with them. But I didn't think a hearing aid was gonna be
and we went with kind of a small group last night, and a couple of them had been saying that, oh, well, why didn't they realize that earlier? Why didn't she recognize that earlier? She's not going to think of it right away my hearing aid's messing with their head.
She's deaf.
It's the first time ever that these monsters are close to her and then run away out of nowhere. She's not going to think it's her hearing aid.
Well, and she's deaf. She can't hear the monster freaking out from the frequency.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if anything, Emily Blunt, I think, kind of figured it out when she saw it. I mean, the kid figured it out.
The kid figured it out when she saw the monster's head freaking out.
Yeah, it kind of opens up and
that was definitely weird. The
Demigorgon,
Demigorgon from Stranger Things.
Demigorgon, Cloverfield monster.
I mean, I was happy with it. I was satisfied with that. I thought it was a cool idea as far as the answer to it, because the entire time through this movie, John Krasinski's this distant father, and he's trying to reconnect with his kids, and this is the way of reconnecting with his daughter through building her new hearing aid.
Because she feels responsible for the youngest son's death, because she gives him the rocket ship even though they told the kid not to take it.
All right, well, let's kind of wrap this up here quickly, but is there anything that maybe you didn't like about the movie, or is it one of your favorites of the year?
Off the top of my head, didn't like? Nothing.
All right.
I loved the fact that I stayed holding my breath the whole entire time. I can't name a movie where the whole entire time I'm holding my breath. I had to go to the bathroom within 20 minutes because I was getting so nervous, but you couldn't leave just because it was so oh my god. And it's not a long movie.
No, it was only an hour,
90
40,
minutes exactly.
Yeah, hour and a half. But no, I kind of felt the same way. There were moments where I was definitely holding my breath. I didn't get a jump scare maybe a few of you guys did, but
4 times.
I was very happy with what it was, and kind of like I said, the pacing and the tension in this movie, it's crazy, and so that is one of the biggest reasons why to go and see this movie. It's such an exciting time. It's so different from what we're going to be getting, with Avengers and Rampage and Solo and all these movies coming out over the next month, a couple months. We haven't
had a movie like this in a while.
And so that's why it's such a unique and fun story. So To wrap this up, Brian, why don't you go and get a score out of 10, man?
No, you go first.
No, I want
because
to
this
you
is
go
my
first.
opinion.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
10.
Oh my
I loved
God.
it. You hate when I give 10s, but
give them so often.
No. For me to give a 10 on a horror movie, scary horror movie, at lowest I'm going a 9.5, but I don't have anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it to me at all.
All right. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great movie. It is. It's exciting. It's worth the ticket. Go see this movie. Go see it a couple times. Go support it because I want to see more John Krasinski movies personally.
Yeah,
directing Fantastic Four. That's what I want to see him do.
Yeah,
direct Fantastic Four
and star.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just started directing and wrote, so why not do it for Fantastic Four?
Do all three.
That is our review of A Quiet Place, our spoiler breakdown. Hopefully we didn't ruin the movie for you. Hopefully you have seen it by watching this movie. That is Brian. I am Jake. We thank you for joining us today. Comment, share, like, subscribe. We really, really appreciate the support. Guys, until next time, see you guys later.